Hello, everybody, and welcome to Brain Tumor Companion, Brain Tumor Diaries. This is Life Now. Today we are discussing a beautiful poem that was written by Stacy out in Manchester, UK. But we're going to talk a little bit about her diagnosis and her experience and her journey, and also really review this beautiful poem that she wrote. She was kind enough to share it on our social media pages. So those of you who follow there may have already read it, but we're going to break it down because it's just so meaningful and I think it speaks to a lot of all of us on this journey. So, Stacy, welcome to the Zoom room today. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you taking the time to share your story and share your beautiful poem with our community. Can you first start off by introducing yourself and just kind of sharing a little bit about who you are, where you're from, your diagnosis, and kind of your current status right now with your diagnosis?
Yeah, so I'm Stacey from Manchester, UK. 38, married with two children, a boy and a girl, 14 and 12 years old. I am night staff in a care home for dementia patients. Um, in my spare time, I'm generally running around for my children's hobbies, football, cheerleading. That one literally takes me all over the world. Um, but I do enjoy walking and hiking. Um, I had a craniotomy in November. I think it was probably around 2 years ago, probably around now. I started getting migraines. When I say migraines, like migraines are terrible anyway. If you do have migraines, I really feel for you, they're awful. But this was like, it didn't feel normal. I knew when I first had it, it wasn't normal. Um, and they gradually got worse. I would lose feeling in one side of my body. I would have vision problems. Um, it got to the stage where I was going backwards and forwards to the doctors for medications. I was on medication every day at one point to try and prevent migraines, which obviously didn't help because there was an underlying thing that they hadn't found yet.
Right.
It got to the stage where I think I had two migraines in a week, and 4 days after the second one, I still didn't have any feeling in my left arm. Um, so at that point, I got referred for a scan, and on the scan day, I had a normal MRI, and they said, "Stacey, we don't want you to leave just yet. We want to do another one, but with contrast eye." I was
Mhm.
like, right, okay. So straight away, like alarm bells are ringing. I thought, oh, they found something here. I had the second one with the contrast eye, and then they sent me straight to A&E. And within a couple of hours, I was told that they'd found quite a big mass, and I would need to see a neurosurgeon straight away. 3 weeks after that, I had surgery. Like, it all happened fast
So
once they found it.
fast.
Yeah.
How long were you in the hospital after your surgery?
Um, had it on the Monday, and I was home by the Wednesday evening,
Okay. That's
so
pretty
not
quick
too long.
turnaround.
It was
Yeah.
fast. I
Yeah.
think as long as you can do things, like I had to pass some tests like walking. I couldn't walk straight. I was
Mm.
walking off to the left for a bit. But yeah, once they knew that you could do certain things and you had help at home, they say recovery starts at home. They just send you home.
Right.
So I
Right.
was home by the Wednesday evening.
And post your craniotomy, did you have any issues like infection, or did you have to go back for any reason for any kind of reconstructive stuff? It was just, did you have a good healing process?
I did have a good healing process with the wound. I have still now got a bit of I think they call it a pseudo meningocele, so it's like a buildup of the cerebral fluid. And when I lie down, it kind of like builds up and a squishy balloon comes out of my head, if you like. But then as the day goes on, it like kind of seeps back in. So it causes a bit of pressure and some headaches, but nothing like the headaches I was getting. I would have this every day over one of those migraines for the rest of my life.
Right.
Um, but she said it's something that will heal itself. Now all the swelling and stuff underneath has gone down. It should start to reattach, so the fluid won't be able to leak out anymore. But
Okay.
it'll just take a bit of time.
You don't have a shunt, do you?
No.
Okay. I know sometimes, like a lot of the people I talk to in the community, when they have a lot of swelling going on in the brain post the craniotomy. Sometimes even a year later, they realize I need a shunt and they put
Yeah.
that tube to kind of just make sure the fluid goes elsewhere, right? And it maybe
I
drops
think
into
that,
their lung or drops into their stomach. But
yeah, could be something that's done if it carries on, but I think
yeah,
over the last month, especially, it has got a bit smaller. So I do think it'll go on its own
slowly
eventually.
fading. Yeah.
Hopefully, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, after a surgery like this, there's not a lot of space in the brain, right? So everything kind
No.
of swells and gets disrupted, and then it just takes a while to kind of find its way
Oh,
back, and
and all the
liquids are moving
flicking and
around.
yeah, flicking and squishing and oh, I was
Yeah.
lucky. I've had superhuman hearing as well, to be honest. Like I can hear the littlest thing. It's amplified. It's so annoying. I can't go to a restaurant because I hear everybody's conversation.
Yes. It's so funny that you say that because I always tell everybody I know, particularly my spouse who I lived with for 26 years, I never had an issue with noises like the refrigerator or the air condition or a fan. And
Yeah.
now it drives me insane. I can hear it. And still,
And I'll
even
be
some
hunting
years
around. What is
after,
that noise? Where is that coming from?
it's crazy how heightened your senses get once you've had this surgery. And like a siren, forget about it. I mean, I can't even, I just
Oh
can't
no.
handle it. If it's music and I love the music and it's loud and I'm ready for it, I can handle it. But if
And
it's
deal with that.
just noises, I'm like, turn that off. Superhuman is a good word. But I think that's part of why neurofatigue is such a thing for our patient population, is because if there were things that you never really heard or paid attention to before because you were just able to somehow not, tune into it, and now all of a sudden all of our senses are heightened and our brain is like re-functioning, like trying to figure out new ways to route, that every like you just mentally get so exhausted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
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 exhausting.
overwhelming for sure. And my husband will be like, I don't even hear what you're talking about. I'm like, listen, it's like a click, I can hear it, or it's a buzz, I can hear it. And he's like, whatever.
Yeah, it sounds very familiar.
Yes, so crazy. So share with me a little bit about how you're feeling right now. Like, what are some of the deficits, if any? I know you mentioned still getting some headaches, but not as bad. But is there any lingering things that is of concern for you right now?
Um, Not really a concern, but I am due to get my driving license back because I don't know if it's the same for you guys in America, but we lose our license for 6 months after surgery.
Oh,
Um, so I am due to get it back. I've sent all the paperwork off for it to be sent back. However, I don't think I will drive again because I feel like I can't judge on my left side. I haven't got the spatial awareness that I had before, and I'm a bit scared. So I
gotcha.
don't know if I will drive. And also, I've not missed it, to be honest. I've been walking a lot more, and public transport isn't so bad now. I've had to do it, so I'm kind of used to it now. It's also saving me money, so
Yeah, absolutely. In the States, they take away your license if you have seizures and you're on
right.
seizure meds. I think they hold your license for like 6 months until you can prove that you've gone a period of time without seizures. I don't know for sure if 6 months is the right number, but I know that it's seizure related. For me, after 3 weeks, I was on seizure meds after my craniotomy for 3 weeks. And once I was off and I didn't have any seizures, my doctor was like, you can go back to everything as you normally would. So I was driving and working and kind of getting back to life. I was exhausted, but I was,
Yeah,
doing and
that
driving.
sounds
I have to say,
great.
those first few times I drove, boy, did it feel overwhelming. Like I was in Los
Yeah,
Angeles and just too many things to pay attention to that felt really natural prior to the surgery. And then after, I was just so paranoid, like, this is a lot. So I
yeah,
don't encourage people driving anytime soon after a craniotomy because, again, just for the sensitivity of noise and light and all of the things,
yeah,
it's pretty overwhelming.
yeah. I don't think it'll be happening anytime soon.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, well, let's get into the poem because that really is the highlight of why we're here. You wrote something beautiful that really spoke to so many of us on socials, and figured it'd be great to have you kind of read it out by section and we just talk a little bit about the feels. And for anyone watching and listening in today, you can review the poem in its entirety in, the comment section of this video post. But um I noticed, Stacy, you didn't title this poem. I think we got to think about a title.
I do need to think about a title because I wrote a few poems. I always seem to write them when I've got things going on in my life, and they've all got a title. I do need a title for this one.
Yeah.
I'll think about that one.
Yeah. All right. Well, why don't you get started with reading kind of the first section of this beautiful poem?
Okay. Sometimes I think about the days before I knew, the days before when I woke up with just normal, everyday things on my mind, the days before I wasn't cautious about making future plans, the days before surgery when scans and appointments were not a normal part of life, the days before having to be strong without a choice, the days before life split into before and after, the days before scanxiety, the days before knowing real fear. That's section one.
Yeah. So, what share your feels behind that? What drove you to write all of those beautiful and kind of painful words?
I think I just always seem to have a lot of things buzzing through my mind, and I just wanted to kind of write something that everyone could relate to because I wrote this now, and the amount of people that actually understand everything that I've wrote, it's really sad. Like we shouldn't have feelings like this. It's just not right. Um, and obviously I knew Brain Tumor Awareness Day was coming up, so I thought it was a good time to actually put it out there as well. Perfect time. I don't even know what normal things on your mind are anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
like I don't like always talk about having a brain tumor, but it's there every day. Every day you wake up, it's thought about. Or like I go to wash my hair and I'll feel it. Like it's always there. And I just miss the days where you just wake up with like, oh, what am I doing today? Let's get some washing done. Let's get it on the line. No, my first thought is brain tumor every day.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. And I know a lot of people don't really understand that. And it's like, one, it's traumatizing. I mean, you've went through something really medically traumatic, unexpected, scary, all the things. And then just how it changes your life in the small ways. Like you said, just shampooing my hair. I don't wash my hair as much as I used to because I just
Mm.
genuinely don't like feeling the scar or tugging on it. I
No,
don't mess with my hair a lot. I just like, I know it's there. I feel it every day. And it's weird. It's just a weird thing to know that you've been through this.
it is. Like I was blonde when before I had my surgery, and I've had to go back to my natural colour because I can't deal with having my head messed with and having hair dye on it and things. So I just let my roots grow out now and leave it as it is, so I don't have to
Yeah.
deal with it.
Yeah. It's it's a normal part of life that's not normal, right? Like now
Yeah,
this is our new normal, but for most people these things would never even be a thought in their mind. And you mentioned needing to be cautious about making future plans. That's hard for so many of us because we want to do all the things we used to love and want to do, but we don't know that we'll have the energy for it or that we'll feel well enough for it, or just the fact that, again, we're sort of traumatized. Like, will something else come up that
yeah,
prevents me
exactly.
from having that joy that I seek that normally before was just excited to go do this in the future, and now it's like, oh well, what can get in the way of it?
Yeah, it's like a weekend. My daughter was at a cheerleading competition and she won and she got a bid to go to Florida next year. Obviously, everyone's happy and excited. I was. It lasted for about an hour, and then I thought, what if I have a scan and something's there again and I have to have radiation or I'm not fit enough to fly at that point? Like, it's just scary. It just takes away your excitement of things.
Hmm. Yeah, the days before knowing real fear is such a powerful statement to me because I genuinely don't think I even knew fear before this surgery. And the diagnosis terrified me initially, but then they talked me down and were like, "You're gonna be okay." And I was on watch and wait for 6 years, so I kind of just let it, simmer in the background. But then when it became real, I mean, you don't go under the knife for a craniotomy and not face fear at, like, I think
No,
the highest level because I might not come out of this is one, you sign paperwork this thick. And then two, if I do come out, like, I don't know how this
I'm
is
not going
going
to
to
be the
change
same.
me. Yeah, will
Yeah.
I have the same memory? Will I have the same thought processes? Will I be able to function in the way that I did before? Am I going to
I
have
don't even like the same things anymore.
interesting, like what
Like,
changed in that arena?
um, I don't like alcohol anymore. And I used to love a little gin and tonic in the hot tub, but I don't like alcohol anymore. I went off tea and chocolate. Just
Interesting. Chocolate.
random thing. Yeah. I just, I'm not into it anymore. Makes you feel
Interesting.
sick.
Yeah. So
And,
bizarre.
I, and I'm like, is that the tumor or is that just me? Like, but you don't know. You just kind of put everything down to the tumor sometimes, even though it's not there anymore.
Well, it's the tumor that triggered the change, right? Like it's
Yeah,
the diagnosis, the surgery that triggered a different level of awareness or desire in life, and you just kind of think and see things differently. You really don't, I mean, you have no
100%.
choice
Yeah.
but to. Yeah. And scanxiety, this is a huge one for our community because
This is
people
massive.
think it's massive. They think you've had your surgery, you look great, you're doing wonderful, way to go, you're a textbook recoverer, go live life. And it's like, but I
Yeah.
always have scans in my future for literally until like I'm not existing anymore.
Yeah. I feel like you just live sometimes one scan to another. And scanxiety, like, it's not just being scared of they might find something again. It's remembering as well because I had that scan. Something was found. The worst did happen. Like it just brings back memories of when you have a scan. It's not just about what might happen. It's about sometimes actually what did.
Yeah, what has happened? Yeah, I mean, it's the PTSD from it all, right? It's like I had a
Mhm.
traumatic situation, and this scan that I'm about to go into is bringing up all of those feels and those memories. And so, and it's just such a reminder of everything you've been through. Every time
Yeah,
you go get it done, it's like, okay, I've been the reminder that I've been through all of this, and then also that I'm at risk of possibly having to go through something similar
go through it
again if they
again. Yeah,
find it. And it's like, who wants to go through that twice? So yeah, it's very, very real. And if you're claustrophobic, forget about it because they've got you locked down
yeah,
head
locked in.
first, like hour long. It's just it's really intimidating and frustrating. And so people don't realize that even when you're healthy and you've recovered and your tumor may never come back, you still always have follow-up care. You still always need a neuro team and
Yeah,
really good access to care because you're already at high risk just because you had it once. So it's life changing for sure. For and
it is
like you
life
said,
changing.
appointments not being a normal part of your life, like just always having a standing MRI is a normal part of our lives, and that's just
Yeah.
weird. That's so bizarre.
And kind of assessing yourself every day if you need to write anything down for your next consultation that you need to let them know about when you should just be living, not thinking, oh, maybe I'll just mention this, see if, what she thinks about it.
Yeah. And you really can never, for me personally, I can't have another headache, dizzy spell, nausea spell, like any little, and I'm like, oh no, the tumor's
No, yeah,
right? Like now I got to pay really close attention. Like you said, I got to write this stuff down because if
yeah.
this continues, oh no.
Is it going to be a problem?
Yeah. Yeah. It's all the days before I knew what I know now, right? Like
I
it's
know.
just
I miss
crazy.
those days.
I miss those days. Yeah, there's a part of we talk about it a lot in the support groups that I host. You kind of have to bury your old self. It's weird to say that, but the person you were before, there's kind of, the before and the after. I think you talk about it later in your poem, but it's just, yeah, that
I
chapter of
think it's
life is
there
over.
actually. Life split into before and after it is.
Yeah,
Before a tumor and life after a
exactly.
tumor.
Before and
That's all
after.
there is now.
Yeah, yeah, it's just, I say I'm Angel 2.0, although probably more like 5.0 at this point, but since I'm just hit 50. But yeah, it's a bizarre place to be. All right, well, let's get into the second part of your beautiful poem.
Sometimes I think about the moment everything changed. The moment I heard those words and life became a blur. The moment 100 thoughts went through my mind in a second. The moment my mortality was questioned. The moment I chose fight instead of flight. The moment when nothing else mattered. The moment that cancelled foreseeable plans. The moment I no longer felt safe in my own body.
All right, talk to me about that section.
Ugh, the moment I heard them words, oh, it was just literally the worst day of my life. Like, the walls were closing in, my husband was breaking down next to me. I think I just instantly thought, how long have I got left? And then she flashed up the image of it, like this massive mass that they found. It was a 5 centimeter meningioma at that point.
Wow.
And it was just, I was like, wow, that is a big mother.
That's big. That's mine was 2.1 when they took it out. So more than double mine. That is a big tumor.
It was big. Yeah, and so many things just raced through my mind. Like, I'm not going to get to see my kids get married. Um, I actually went back to a TV program that we have in the UK called EastEnders, where one of the characters died of a brain tumor. Um, and I just thought that's going to happen to me. I'm going to have to tell my kids that I'm not going to be here.
Hmm.
Awful, awful day. We call it shit day 101 in the
Yeah.
house. So the anniversary of that is the 25th of October.
Shit day 101.
Shit day 101.
I love that. That is, I mean, sometimes you gotta like laugh a little and just make up, these things to remind
Oh, I
yourself,
even
like,
named
I
my
went through
tumor.
hell and back.
Yeah. I even named a tumor. He was called Terry.
Terry, yeah,
Yeah.
Terry be gone. Remind me, did they get 100% resection on your tumor?
Yeah,
They did. Okay,
he
good.
did.
And it was a grade 1, so it had clean lines. So hopefully that will not come back. And you didn't do any radiation, right?
No.
Okay, good. All right. Wow. So yeah, everything a blur and everything just so many thoughts, right? Is this how
Yeah.
I'm gonna die? Will I see my
Mhm.
kids grow up, get married? Will I have grandkids kind of a thing, right? Like, what will my husband do? Like, how many years will we have left together?
How
Uh,
on earth are they going to get through life without me?
yeah, how will
That
I
was the
tell my
second
friends
one.
and family? How do I say goodbye? How do I plan for something like this? What will the demise of, dying from something like a brain tumor look like? Like instantly you just even if none of that's true, even if you're more likely to get hit by a bus tomorrow than you are dying from your
Mm.
brain tumor, it doesn't change the fact that when you hear the words
You think
you have
about
a
it.
brain tumor, I mean like it's just instant. And in my lifetime, I always kind of, and I mean, I may still get it, but if the doctor said you have breast cancer, I wouldn't have been floored. I'd be like, okay, what's the battle plan? Like, I would just kind of expect that that might be something that I would get. My grandma had it, my aunt had it. I kind of always knew in my lifetime maybe this is on my roster of illness to have. But when they said you have a brain tumor, I'm like, oh no, no, no. I didn't see
No.
this one coming. Talk about shit day 101. Like, I want a refund. I don't want to do this
Yeah.
visit right now. I'm mad. And then when you say no longer feeling safe in your body, what does that look and feel like for you?
It was just, I think just the unknown. I've always been quite a strong person and like I'm not afraid to deal with anything, but I was afraid of this and I thought my body better not let me down.
Mhm.
Like, you've got me this far. Let's just do this.
Yeah. And especially at such a young age. I mean, you really are quite young to have to go through something this medically challenging, right? And in
Mm,
many ways, it's probably good to do it when you're young because you might bounce back more quickly than you would if you're older. But at the same time, it's still like, okay, well, how is this going to affect me as I get older, right? Like,
yeah.
is this going to be a one and done and I can like just continue to move through life, or is this going to be like something I keep revisiting in the years, decades, whatever to come. And then
Mm,
also, how will this affect, is it DNA? Like, is this going to affect my kids? Like, you just kind of, there's just so many
so
layers
many
to
things.
it.
And then I thought, how can I trust my body now? If it can't fight this and it's let this thing grow, what else is it going to let in?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah. What else are my cells doing that are working
yeah,
against me and not for me, kind of a thing? Yeah. I mean, in questioning your mortality, like, it's just, part of me kind of feels like the positive side of all this is since I've already told myself like I might die young, at this point I kind of feel like every day really is a gift and there's a huge like the plus side, I guess, if there is a win to the trauma that we've already discussed in
yeah,
these first two sections, you do kind of reassess life, right? Like what matters
yeah,
most. and how you're going to
exactly.
spend your days and where you're going to place your energy and how hard you're going to love and what you're not going to like allow to ruffle your feathers, if you will, right? Um,
Yeah,
like the positive side of it is because you have no choice but to face your mortality because you do feel like, oh, the clock might be ticking for me if this gets the best of me. You kind of just, I'm kind of in a place now where it's like, if I go tomorrow, I did all the things I wanted to do. Uh,
yeah, that's
because
a good place to be.
yeah, it kind of resets your priorities. And I feel like I love a lot harder now than I did before because it just
Yeah,
means so much more now because I thought I might lose it all. And
yeah,
so it looks and feels a little different. So I do think that's kind of like the light on the other side of it. Not everybody can get there because for some people, they're just if you're in the angry part of it, it's hard to get to the light. But 13 plus years in,
yeah.
I'm kind
I
of
have
there is some light in this
went
shit
through the
show.
angry part. Went through the angry part where you just think, why me?
Oh,
Why?
I asked that question, like, why not like a terrible human out in the universe?
Yeah,
Why not someone else? Why me? Or why not an older person who's maybe, already lived a great life and if they're gonna have to die of something, why not this? Like why give
yeah.
it to the young people who are parents who are thriving in their career? Like why? It doesn't make sense, but I
But
don't.
then I remember like thinking all them million things in 1 second, and then something I didn't even, I don't know, something inside me just clicked and went from this wanting to run away and forget about it all to fight. Well, come on then, I'll do this. I'm gonna get through this. And
Hmm.
then I don't know, it was such a strange feeling because instantly I was about to like go into this slump and everything was closing in and start crying. I was like, actually, no, I'm not having this. This is not on.
Yeah. This little tumor in my head is not gonna win. Well, it's a big tumor, but not winning the war today, sir.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. All right, well, let's go into the third part. I'm sure everyone listening wants to know how this poem ends.
Sometimes I think about how it's changed my future. It changed what I can do physically. It changed what I now know I'm capable of. It changed what's important. It changed my mentality. It changed my awareness of any little ache or pain I feel. It changed how I look at the future, knowing everything can change in an instant. It changed how I get through life carrying an invisible weight every day while looking completely fine on the outside. And there is a small end bit as well. I'll read that.
Hmm.
Then I think, you've got this, warrior. Just keep showing up like you do, one day at a time. You are awesome.
You are awesome.
We are
You
awesome.
are. You are awesome. We've been through some crazy stuff and lived to tell the story, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So when you think about how it changed you, the physical, the mental, the emotional, what really put those words on the table for you?
Ugh, well, I'm definitely more emotional now. I cry at anything. I didn't cry before. Everyone always used to think like I was this big tough nut. And I am a tough nut, but no, I do let a tear out now and I'm not afraid of it. I'm not ashamed to cry.
Yeah, me either. I cry all the time. It's crazy.
Um,
A lot of people in this group cry pretty easily afterwards. I don't know if it's just we just wear so much more of our heart on our sleeve after
I
something
think I
like this.
cried
Like,
as soon as I woke up after surgery. I was like, oh my God, I'm alive.
yes, me too. I looked at Scott and I was like, honey, I remember you. And he's crying, I'm
Yeah,
crying, and I'm just like,
exactly.
thank God. I thought if I have to
Yes,
go
I
home
can
with
move
a
my
man I
feet.
don't remember, oh my God.
Oh
That'd be
no.
terrifying.
Yeah, physically, like, it's just the feeling of it. Like, the trench, I call it,
Hmm.
where my head's been cut, and it just shouldn't feel like that. So I don't like
Yeah.
messing with my hair anymore, or I've not, I've not had a haircut in months. Like, I can't bring myself to do it because I
Yeah.
can't deal physically with people like pulling and having to brush it because I know where I can brush it and not bump it and hurt it and make my little bone flap move.
Yeah.
So it's just changed how I move. Like, I'm so cautious if I'm going under something that might bump my head and
Hmm.
oh, honestly.
I'm even careful going out in the sun. I'm like, is my scar covered? Because I'm so worried
Yeah,
it's going to get sunburn.
yeah, and
Right?
put a
It's
hat
like, I
on.
don't, you gotta kind of, because it's so sensitive and it's a good size scar. And my doctor went pretty minimal, but it's still a good size scar. And it's right on the top center of my head from here to here. So it's like, I don't really need a sunburn, like blisters. I don't need any more
No,
trauma to that skin at this time.
absolutely not.
Yeah, it's crazy. What is your thoughts around the mental side of this? The,
I didn't realize like how it just is with you every day and how it makes you scared of things in the future and you're always thinking about it and like you're thankful that you're on the other side of it. But then I feel guilty that I'm happy I'm not in a worse boat like other people are. Like they say, a meningioma, if you're going to get a tumor, it's probably one of the better ones to get because it's the least aggressive, easiest to treat
right.
sometimes, as opposed to like a glioblastoma where that's the most aggressive and the hardest to treat. And I'm like, I'm glad I haven't got that. But then I think, oh, I shouldn't be glad because those poor people that have gone through possibly worse.
I always say it's not a competition, right? Like we all have a reason to be sad, angry, and emotional around the diagnosis. Because again, we all heard the
Mhm.
same words that day, you have a brain tumor. And until we went in and did surgery and
We know
pathology,
what it is.
we didn't know what we were working with. So we all still had that same fear of like, what is this actually going to be? And then they test it,
Yeah.
and you kind of know what you need after that. Um, there's always going to be someone worse. There's always going to be someone better,
Yeah.
but we all kind of have these same fears. And for me, I always want to be a part of community and learn a lot about brain tumors and awareness and really bring people together because I don't know that I'm not going to end up in the glioblastoma boat
Yeah.
someday. I don't know
That's
that
what
my
I think
cells
if
aren't
I
going
had
to do
this.
something crazy.
Yeah. Am I going to get a worse one come back? I've been opened up now. Like,
Yep.
yeah, it's
I
scary.
disrupted the cells. They were happy doing their non-cancerous thing, and now
Yeah, I've triggered something now messing
I
with
went
them.
in and disrupted the party. So what did they
Yeah,
go do now over the next 5 to 10 years,
are they
right?
going to be mad?
Yeah, because I've sadly talked to people who started off with a grade one and ended up with a grade four, 5, 6, 20 years later. Like the story it doesn't mean you're not able to get it, just means you don't have it right now. You may
Yeah,
never get it. I mean, nobody knows, but it's hard because it's easier to tell yourself, oh, I'm better off than them, so I'm okay. Like I should be grateful. And it's like you could be grateful and upset at the same time. Right?
yeah,
Like you can be grateful that you're alive and that everything went fairly well and that you have very few deficits, but it's still hard for you. It's still something you didn't expect. It was still traumatizing. It's still worrisome. You could still
yeah,
sit in all of those feelings and it's acceptable. You have a right to feel that way. You shouldn't have to wash your feelings away, but like, oh, but I shouldn't waste my time feeling, sad or disappointed about my condition because it could have been this. And it's like, well,
yeah,
it could have, but it doesn't mean that yours is any less traumatizing for you, right? Like you can both equally be traumatized by
yeah,
something. One person's just going to be on the planet longer than the other person based on the
yeah,
diagnosis, but the trauma it still is what it is, right? The worry and the fear. And, some people who have really bad outcomes with meningiomas where they end up in a wheelchair or they lose their ability to speak or they lose their vision or their hearing, some people with benign tumors kind of wish that they're like, it would have been a good time to go, right, on that surgical table
yeah,
because they came out of it with not a positive outcome. And those people really, really struggle. And, those stories often are not told and are unheard. And that's why your words mean so much to this community because benign is not fine.
no, it's
And,
not.
the journey is not a competition. It's not, well, yours is worse than mine, so I should be grateful and shut up kind of thing. Like that's just not the case. Like we're all in it in some way, and our level of compassion for each other is pretty high, just instantly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is, I think. It's made me soft. A softer person. I've got a softer heart now.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, for sure. Talk about the awareness of every little ache and pain. That's a fun one.
That's a terrible one. I
Terrible.
think during I think it was maybe, it must have been during the first week I was home. I had this pain in my foot. And I'm just thinking I've got a blood clot in my leg, like something ridiculous. And it wasn't even a bad pain, and it would never have normally bothered me. But any little pain now, I think extreme things are what is causing it,
Yeah.
and it's nothing, but I
Yeah.
can't help it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just where the brain goes.
Like I had a bit of like reflux, and I felt like I couldn't swallow, and I was like, oh my God, I've got like something in my esophagus. I've got a tumor in my esophagus now. Like it's ridiculous what you think.
Hmm. Yeah, because you assume if it's growing in one spot, it could be anywhere. And
Yeah,
yeah,
I just
like
think
how,
everything's a tumor now.
yeah, like can you just scan my whole body to confirm I don't have five meningiomas elsewhere?
That
Not
would be awesome.
meningiomas, but tumors elsewhere that they
That would
haven't
definitely
gone
give me peace of mind.
to other parts of my body. Um, Obviously, we learned very quickly that everything can change in an instant because it did, right?
Yeah,
That one moment that we wish we didn't have to live through. And then I love this, carrying an invisible weight every day while looking completely fine on the outside. That's
yeah,
one, it doesn't matter what diagnosis in this journey you have. Grade one, grade four, so often. I mean, sometimes grade fours you can tell because of the chemo and stuff, but for a lot of us, we plug along, we still go to work, we still, take care
yeah.
of the kids and the spouse and get dressed and do all the things, but yet inside we are so different.
Thinking so much at one time, and it's just, yeah, it's like carrying an invisible bag on your back all the time. But for someone to look at you, they'll just think you're perfectly fine. And I'll even say I'm fine sometimes because I can't be bothered explaining that no, I'm not. It's just
Hmm.
easier. It is easier to just say, yeah, I'm okay, thanks.
Yeah. And most people wouldn't understand anyway. I don't know that I
Yeah,
would, right? Like before this diagnosis, I don't know that if someone said I had a brain tumor, I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But outside of that,
you don't know what it feels like.
yeah, I wouldn't have a clue until you go through it. Like, and as much as friends and family are kind and support us and, show up for us in ways,
You
there's,
can still feel alone sometimes.
yeah,
And I said that to my husband once, and he was like, "What, you saying I don't care?" I was like, "Not at all. I'm saying that you don't care, but you don't know what it feels like." But obviously, everyone does care.
yeah, it's just,
But there's only so much they can do.
hmm And it's not relatable. I mean, I wouldn't want people to be able to relate to this. Like that means you've been
Absolutely
through
not.
some stuff that is not fun because no one should be able to relate to this. And we always talk about fatigue, and a lot of people say, friends or my spouse or family, they always say like, "Come on, get out, do things." Like you're just being lazy. And it's like,
Yeah,
do not confuse neuro fatigue with lazy.
with laser.
These are like if I'm on the couch and I would believe me, I would really love to walk down the street and grab a snack and hang out for a while with the friends. I just can't do it, right? Like
Mhm.
I would want, me, I would want to do that. If I can't do it, it's not lazy. It's something that is literally not in my control because it's just that level of tired. And I don't know if you've noticed, but when the fatigue kicks in, like the word recall starts to fade.
Yeah,
I'm like I need to like get home and get to bed soon because I'm done. Like
yeah.
there's no
Nothing
cup
goes
of
in.
coffee that's gonna get me through.
Yeah, nothing will get you through other than actually resting and sleeping. Like you just can't comprehend anything at that point.
Yeah. What is your sleep habits like? Like, do you sleep well? Do you sleep more or less? What does it look like after surgery?
Um, I actually sleep great. As soon as my head hits the pillow, I'm gone. And
That's
I will sleep until my alarm clock goes off. And I could do that every day, all day. The only time I don't sleep is when I've got a scan upcoming, and then, the migraine, the nightmares are coming, and
hmm
yeah, yeah,
So
but I do.
you say nightmares because I remember the days before my surgery, I was literally having nightmares that like my brain was gushing blood on the table and there was an earthquake and
Oh
they messed
no.
up and like I lived in California and I had the surgery in California and I prayed for no earthquakes that day. Because imagine if a
Oh,
6.0 earthquake hits and they're doing
yeah,
this. Ah, I mean, like,
yeah.
whoa, we
Oh
cannot have a
no,
slip like that. Um,
absolutely not.
just those little things like you're really holding your entire computer system in the hands of whoever's in your head that day. And
Yeah.
I mean, God forbid that surgeon even sneeze. And, like you have to be so still and so patient.
Got to put all your trust into somebody else.
Yes, somebody you've known for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like I don't know this person. I don't know that he wasn't drunk last night at dinner
Your
with his
life is
friends. Like I don't
literally in their
know.
hands. Yeah, that's scary.
It's so scary. And, hats off to the neurosurgeons who do an incredible job every day to even save our lives because, maybe 100 years ago, the surgery you had wouldn't be possible. And
Yeah.
it would have been a condition you died from at a young age kind of thing. And now you probably have a lot of life left in you because of it. So, I mean, there's a great, like, pleasure in knowing that neuro teams have come a long way in recent years with
Yeah.
technology and all these things that they can really be saving our lives, but it still changes our lives because, um, again, most people you're like, you don't grow up thinking or even studying about brain tumors. Like, it's just not
No,
something that I think I ever talked about in like a health class. It's just nobody gets them. So it's
I
not,
don't even think I know anybody else. I know of a couple that have had a brain tumor, but it's just not something you hear. Like, you hear people talking about someone that's got cancer or whatever, but I've not really heard of people having a brain tumor.
yeah.
So it's just very unknown.
Yeah. And
But I
there's
do feel
no,
quite lucky in how I was dealt with because I never felt fobbed off, even when I was just seeing my doctor and they were giving me different migraine medication. They always tried something. They never was just like, oh, it'll be fine, you'll get over it. They always did something. And as soon as I had that scan, like it was very bam, 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 like we're doing this. And I had dates for everything. I had appointments scheduled in. I felt like I was really looked after. And
yeah.
a lot of people don't even get that.
It's true. Yeah, depending on where you live and the access to the care, it can be pretty limited. But then it's also a reminder when they do move that fast how very serious your condition is.
Yeah.
Because, the fact that you couldn't wait 2 or 3 months
Yeah.
is just a reminder of how severe it was. And
Well,
that,
I think my neurosurgeon has actually said to me that the next step after in my symptoms would have been seizures. And I did have a migraine between finding the tumor and my surgery. And I did have an arm twitch, and I was thinking, oh, like, am I going to have a seizure tonight? Like, is this, like, has it grown a little bit more and it's going to affect me that much more and give me a full-blown seizure?
yeah. That's how a lot
So,
of people find out they have this condition is they have like a really big seizure or like you had said, this severe headache unlike anything they've ever had before. Or they just have motor function issues like numbness
mhm.
or inability to move things. Sometimes swallowing and speech get messed up, vision issues all of a sudden out of the
Yeah,
blue. A lot of times, eye doctors, when they do kind of that scan on your eyes, they can discover that there's a mass back there and then
yeah,
send you off to get, looked at with an MRI and stuff. It's always interesting how we find out about this. Again, with the brain, nobody's looking, no one's scanning our brains. There
yeah,
is no standard of care for like this is a baseline for what your brain looks like as far as health and, tumor activity or anything like that. So when you get caught with it, it's just kind of this off guard, you're not ready for it, you don't expect it. There's nothing to compare it to. It's just so not relatable to anything. It's like, now what?
You know, I actually joked about it before my tumor got found. Because I'd had these a migraine at work and I'd been sent home because they thought I was having a stroke at one point. And even at that point, I don't know why I just didn't go straight to A&E, but hindsight, wonderful thing.
Hmm.
Um, so I forgot what I was saying now.
That's okay.
No, it's gone.
All
Lost it.
right. I feel ya. I'm trying to remember where you were headed with that. A scan, maybe you said you joked about a brain tumor.
Oh yeah, I did. So I think I'd said to a couple of friends actually on different occasions, I've got my brain scan coming up, maybe they'll just find a tumor and that'll answer everything. Like
Hmm.
I think I did know that something was going to be found because I'd
Yeah.
already mentally wrote something for my travel business to shut it down on health issues.
Yeah.
Like I think I did know.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me because if you're in tune with your body, like women, I think tend to be pretty in tune with their bodies, and it's like you just kind of know something's off. It's while you were saying that, it's interesting that you lost your thought because that happens to me a lot.
all the time.
And I don't remember that happening before this. Maybe it did. I don't know. But now I feel like I start to tell a story, but I do the pre part of the story, right? Like so that we know why and how it happened. But then I forget the punchline. Like
Yeah.
I
What
set it up and I'm like, wait,
what's the saying that for?
where am I going with this?
Yeah.
And I
That does
so
happen a
often
lot.
say like, nope, that thought's gone.
Yeah.
And so I hope someone who's around me is paying attention to where I left off so that I can,
Like you
oh
was.
yeah,
Thank you
okay,
very
now
much.
there it is. I pulled it back. I pulled it back. I got it. I got it. But it happens a lot. And it's not, it's like even with word recall sometimes, and they love to say it's
Yeah.
menopause and female hormones and brain fog or mom brain, or like we always love to, push it off on something else. And I'm like, maybe it's
Yeah. I've
this,
noticed I'll be reading something and I can read it like 10 times and I think, what have I just read? Like it just doesn't sink in.
yeah,
And I used to enjoy like doing word searches. I can't always do them anymore because I just think I can't see what word is what. Like I just don't know. I give up.
yeah,
And then I'll go back to it later on. But
yeah,
yeah, I do feel like I'm a bit slower.
yeah. Yeah, I think like all my old memories are there for sure. It's not like I lost any of that. I think the retention of things in real time is tougher for me. And
I think I lost a bit. I don't remember Christmas last year. I don't. That is total. I think from after surgery to maybe starting my walking challenge in February, which really helped my recovery. Like that period there is just a total blur. I don't really remember much of it. I can't remember what I did on Christmas Day.
were you on a lot of medications after surgery
Not really. I was on painkillers and steroids for a little bit.
and
Um,
anti-seizure meds or no?
no.
Really?
Mm,
Interesting. They usually, in the States, they usually start everybody on an anti-seizure med immediately after surgery. I guess because
mm.
seizures are pretty high risk if your brain is to swell, right? And I don't know, because I never have had a
That,
seizure in my life, and I had to be
yeah,
on them for 3 weeks, and they really are not fun to be on. If
no.
yeah,
I
I
mean, I
don't
was on
take
the
meds.
steroids and I had to carry around a little emergency card so that if anything happened, the hospital knew that I had to continue with those to stop the swelling in my brain. So maybe that's kind of the same sort of thing as your seizure meds.
Yeah, I was on steroids too. I was on steroids, pain, Tylenol mostly. I didn't really need pain meds so much. It didn't actually hurt as much as I thought it would. The
Oh,
actual
I was
pain,
quite numb. Yeah, I
yeah, it
couldn't
was
feel
so
it.
numb. And I just was so foggy and in and out and sleeping
Yeah,
so much. I felt not as much pain as I felt weird. I just felt very off.
yeah.
It took a little bit longer to get stuff out. I felt like I walked slower, felt like I talked slower. I definitely
I was
retaining
walking
things
into
slower.
Yeah, walking into doors and door frames for about a month afterwards. Because all my problems, even though my tumor was on my right, all my problems seemed to be on my left.
Yeah.
So I was walking off to the left all the time, and if I'd go to put a tea bag in a cup, I'd put it next to the cup instead. And yeah, that lasted for maybe about a month, 8 weeks maybe.
And you said your peripheral vision was a little bit off, so that might be why,
Yeah, it was a
right?
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, it's so, so crazy how much strength it takes to get through something like this.
Well,
The
that's why
strength
I
you
think
didn't even know you
sometimes.
had.
Yeah, well, that's why I think sometimes we were given this because we are strong and we were able to get through it. So we took it instead of somebody that wouldn't be able to deal with it. That's how I
Yeah,
look at it sometimes.
yeah,
Makes me feel better.
yeah. I think for me it definitely it slowed me down and made me even more present, right? So I think
Definitely.
I was always such a type A go-getter, busybody. I'm still busy, but like a real busybody. Filled every minute with as much as I could. Was always very much like had a big zest for life, but like just go, go, go. And even at, the cost of burning, like my spouse out, for example, he'd be like, "Can we just chill?" And I'm like, "No, we're gonna go." And so this just really brought me to chill level.
Yeah, you need to rest, a rest, and I will do it
Yeah.
now. I make time to do it.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely brought me to chill level and it's brought me to kind of just appreciating the simple things if that's just playing cards with my dad and, the husband or taking a walk, or, like the days that I
Sunset,
feel good.
yeah, looking at a nice sunrise, like just take it all in now and enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely made me
No
more
stressing
present.
about things that are unimportant anymore.
Yeah, I have like no real reason to fight or argue with people anymore because I'm just
No,
like,
because it's not worth it.
like, yeah, I mean, none of it's worth it. Like, all that matters is that we're still here together. And look,
Yeah,
I love you, you love me. Like, none of this matters. Like, let's just
build some
enjoy.
weight if you need to.
Yeah.
Like they're just unimportant. As long as you get through it alive, that's all that matters.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's definite positive to having to face your mortality, as you had said,
Yeah,
to, kind of find the gratitude in the littler things and to slow down and to be kind. I feel like I give myself more grace than I ever have. I don't beat myself up as
yeah.
much as I used to. I'd be like, push harder at the gym, go better on your diet, work harder at work. And now I'm just kind of
Now just do what I can.
like, I've
Yeah,
done all I can today. I'm done.
I'm
And I
done.
don't
That's
beat myself
it.
up for it. Yeah, I don't like, I'm not worried about aging. I'm not worried about like, I'm focused on living and just trying to
Yeah,
live a good life and having enough energy to get through the day and be appreciative. And that's kind of, and of course, giving back to the community, which is a huge part of what we're doing right now. What is your biggest lesson in all of this? What would you want someone listening today to know?
hmm.
Not to put you on the spot, because I know I didn't prep you for that one.
You did not. I think just live in the now. Enjoy what you've got and be happy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if it's something feels wrong, then get it checked out.
Yeah.
Push to be checked out
Advocate for
properly.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, live your best life because
Mm-hmm.
it can all change like that, as we know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think for me, it's okay to not be okay, right?
Yeah,
Like, it's okay to feel different. It's okay to not be back to who you were. It's okay to
have a
reevaluate
down day.
and have it. Yeah, it's okay to be down for a couple days because you went hard for one night.
It's
Like,
okay to cancel plans.
it's okay to, yeah, you're not a flake,
People will
you're
still be
not
there. You can do
lazy.
something, yeah, another time.
Yeah, exactly. And people who really do love you and appreciate you will show up for you and they'll understand that. And I think it's also okay to tell people and share your story. I think it's okay that this is a part of who you are. I don't think it's something you have to suppress. I don't think it's something you have to feel shame about or wish it didn't, we all wish it didn't happen to us, but um,
Think I did actually put something on Facebook once and I actually apologized. I was like, I know some people are probably sick of seeing all this kind of brain tumor stuff now, but for those who have asked, it's just easier to put it on air for everyone to see it at
mhm,
one time. And somebody actually commented and said, Stacey, don't apologize. It's good that you're spreading awareness. Like if I ever have symptoms of yours now, like I'm straight to the doctor. I know what
yeah.
what it could be. I was like, okay, we shouldn't feel guilty for sharing
No,
our
they could
experience.
scroll, keep scrolling if you don't like what I
Exactly. You don't
post.
like it, scroll on. Yeah.
Exactly. You can silence me for a month or defriend me or keep scrolling, but at the end of the day, as common as it is for everyone else to wake up and make their coffee or their tea or prep their lunch for work, we wake up every day and know that we have a scar on our head and we're a brain tumor patient, we're on watch and wait, we've had radiation creep, whatever our story is, we wake up every day knowing that like that is who we are now. It is a part of our every single day. So as common as
Yeah.
everything else is for everybody every day, that's how common this is for us. And to assume we shouldn't talk about it, I think is disrespectful. But if they
Exactly.
care and if they're paying
Hopefully they don't have
attention,
to experience it either.
I hope they never have to experience it. But for people who have
Yeah.
other people in their lives, if you have children or friends or a spouse, like, learn how to pay attention to the symptoms because they are often very silent and they get misdiagnosed a lot of the time. So, learn from us because I do think, well, we know this condition is going to become more common. The numbers of people being diagnosed continue to go up quite rapidly, and it is a very underfunded, um, understudied diagnosis.
Yeah.
So, people should, if they're willing, they should pay attention. So,
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, you never know. I thought it would never be me, and here I am. And you probably thought it would never be
So,
you, and here you are. So it can happen, and it does happen. Yeah,
fortunately.
unfortunately, yes. Anything else that you would like to share with our time here today?
Um, I don't think so. I think we've covered everything I had on my little notepad.
Yeah. Um, do you, I guess one thing, because you are married and you do have kids, if you are open to sharing, how did this affect your relationships at home, whether with the children or with the spouse? Better or
Well,
worse, or what did that look? Because we all, when we have this, we all come home to home still, right? Like we're
yeah,
different, but home is still the same.
I think it affected my youngest, my daughter. She was quite upset, and I think when I went for my surgery, she had like days off school because she was very anxious about me coming home and things. My son didn't even seem bothered, to be honest. Like the day I come home from hospital, he seen me and he's like, "Oh, you're home. I'm going back out now." I was like, "Okay." Like he just wasn't bothered. Just, but that's the way we kind of wanted it. We kept everything as normal as possible. They still went to all the hobbies and things. I don't want it to be something that they look back on and think, "Oh, that's the time my mum had a brain tumor." So we did try and keep everything as normal as possible.
Yeah.
Um, and my husband, like, he had his day where he was thinking the worst, an absolute mess, thinking I was lost. But then he snapped out of it and stepped up, and yeah, he's always looking after me now. Not
Oh,
that he wasn't anyway, but yeah, he's very protective. Like if anyone's got anything, like they might just have, balloons or whatever, and he'll be like, "Watch your head, watch your head." Very protective.
I love that. It's wonderful when we have a partner in life who is on board with the sickness part of the commitments to each other, right? Like
I
sickness
actually
and
think
health.
he did more research than me, to be honest.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it was research on because I think he joined like a support group, and I think it was the things on there that made him okay to deal with it,
Yeah. That's
which I'm
amazing. I
glad
think
of.
people don't really understand the power and the value of a support group and meeting with
Mm.
kind of peers on your journey to just get a better understanding of, getting the feels out and what you're up against and
Yeah,
things to look out for, educate yourself, kind of learn maybe what other cities, states, countries are doing versus what you're being offered and told to do. Because everyone's sort of limited to the care that is offered by their institution, right? And some
yeah,
medical facilities have progressed and others are still kind of old school, and it's nice to know options. So when we
yeah,
gather and we talk and we meet and you do things like support groups, you get to learn that stuff that they're not going to teach you at your 15-minute medical appointment or your 20-minute
yeah.
medical appointment. So it's really valuable. I love that your husband is so supportive. It was very sweet that he snuck in and hopped on and stole some of our time before we did this video today.
He's worse than me when we're at appointments as well. He'll be chatting on to the doctors and asking them this and that he's Googled, and it's like, oh, just stop
Yeah,
sometimes.
I know.
But it's
Embarrassing
good.
and yet at the same time so sweet.
Yeah. It puts his mind at rest that he knows
Yes,
things before we
absolutely.
go in. He's prepared.
Yeah. Well, I love that. I appreciate you sharing all of this with us today, Stacy. It is so amazing to be able to do this on Zoom from someone all the way from the UK and just continue to share your story and your beautiful words and your poetry with us online. It is so nice to connect with you today. So thank you very
All right,
much.
has been nice. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. If you want to get in touch, please do reach out. My email and text information is in the comments below. This beautiful poem written by Stacy today can also be found there. Please share with us what your thoughts and feelings are about today's interview, and I look forward to seeing and connecting with all of you on Zoom someday. All right, take care, everybody. Have a great day.